welcome back. Let's jump into the sources for generation of traffic, right? So here we'll cover 14 such traffic sources with the elements and the URLs given for specific source elements, which you can go through and start navigating and playing around with it, right? And some of them we'll cover during our practical session during our RISE circles, okay? Uh, so though Blitzscaling will find its own presence in those practicals, right? Uh, for the purpose of this session as a lecture, you should concentrate on the URLs. You might want to think in the direction of how it works best in your digital assets that you've created or the assets you are going to create. Okay, now let's jump into it. So first of all, we heard the 10 commandments, but there are some traffic, sources and the rules for traffic at a minimal level. Okay, at whatever digital assets that you are creating. One is that no one source will fit it all, right? You will have to go to multitude of sources. So keep that very clearly in your mind and keep your mind open for that. Next, this requires a little bit of technical kind of your prowess to start running with it. Okay. So if not, get and start wearing that hat, if not done already, because you are in the digital world, you need to be tech savvy enough, right? To not get afraid of technology per se. Okay. So that is second, that's the second one. Then prioritize, as we discussed in the commandments, your funnel to the traffic. Okay, so the funnel is more important. Traffic you will get. Getting and converting a funnel is your key criteria here. So choose your traffic accordingly. Okay, when you choose your traffic or the personas and this and the other, the focus should be on that funnel that you want to create, so that your cost per acquisition comes down completely. Right? Then we discussed that master at least one source of traffic to the T, so that you're the best in that, followed by every click that happens is important. Okay, not a single click should be left alone. Hence click magic and hence ConvertKit and all that, right? So as tools. Then if you don't monetize the traffic, it is useless, right? That means you're just wasting your time, effort, energy, everything. Okay, so you go there with an assumption that entire traffic has to get converted and get monetized. Doesn't happen in the real world, but if you go for the sky, you at least reach the stars, right? That's how it works. So that's where the principles of minimal traffic zones should be, besides the overall rule for 10 commandments of blitzscaling. Okay, with that said, so let's go one by one on the traffic sources. Though it's clear, you can take a screenshot of this and go at your own pace the way you want it, and also start playing around with it, because that's the way you will learn this and know this. Okay, so email list. Okay, these are typically coming from landing pages, incentives, and subscription. Right, there are enough elements out there to buy the email list from. Okay, I don't want to create speculation out of this. Right, the many sources. Some are potent, some are not. I never do that, okay, because I believe in the organic growth. So, and I would again force you to do the same. But in case you are looking to grow faster than anybody else and your digital assets is just for mass appeal, right? Doesn't depend on too many personas, right? For example, an Airtel or a Vodafone or a AT&T or one of those, right? They will not bother who the end customers is. They won't bother about that traffic, right? Their phones and the network coverage and everything will work anywhere for any persona. So they will just have any list out there just to scale themselves, right? So it's a clear example of a service or a digital kind of asset out there which will do the needful. In your case, it will be different, right? So generate your list so that your personas, right? So your CTA comes into play. Yeah. Okay. Second point, chatbots. Uh, Typically, so use one tool, manychat.com, good enough. There's the various Twilios and the others of the world, expensive at that. But if you start using this, your service elements and communication becomes easier for your end customers that you're looking at as a persona, and this works the best. So second mode of traffic is through chatbots, right, and messaging and stuff like that you do. Facebook, pay-per-click traffic, right? So the PPC traffic, as they call it, right? This, if you go to business.facebook.com, right, there's a detailed way of doing this. I am not using that enough. Okay, I am not, because for my digital assets that probably might not be the best way to do this. For any of my digital assets, we did it for one of our companies, right? Worked very effectively, and depending on your product, instantly that was for one of the jewelry related kind of platform that we have created, which required that kind of reach out. So that was used. So business.facebook.com is one of the way where you pay your way through for people to come as your traffic. Okay, doesn't stop you for anything. It's just that I have not been using that, but I rather send the right kind of blogs or the messaging out there for people to get converted into the zones that I want them to and land up in the places that I want them to. Okay, but doesn't stop you from doing that. Okay, there are no rules for not doing this. You can choose it and use it to the extent that you want to, and you can give them a per day amount or the time period that you want it to, and so you can cut it down to the minimal most level where you see your persona of traffic exists at that particular time and where, and you can direct it so critically to the point that you want it to, and then put a budget on a per day basis and so on and so forth. So this is that. The fourth element being email media, right? So Udemy seems to be the best, right? You can buy clicks for solo ads, right? You can give uh, you know, this email media typically is used for solo ads at best. Okay, so if you go to Udemy and you start playing around a little bit, you will understand, how the solo ads, the solo ad world really works. Okay. Having said that, this is one of the key media elements that will work very well for most. This is, again has certain pricing to it, but works very well as seen earlier. Okay, so with your single ad, a lot of traffic can get generated using udemy.com. So do that, right? Influencer media. If you go to one of these influence or shortcut or big spaghetti and .com, these are sites which you can use for your. You can take the time of influencers, which in turn can take your messages to their communities for them to get directed to the digital assets of the landing area or whatever traffic you want to generate to into those zones. Okay, so you can buy influencer media using one of these sites. Okay, like how you created ads, solo ads for your Udemy. This okay, I find influence.com the best. You can go here and find and choose the kind of influencers you want, kind of community they have, by giving your details, right? And the messaging you want to pass on and the kind of assets you have or the services you're offering. That way, they will let you know as a quotation that what they can guarantee you. Okay, and they can choose to do it or not do it. This is that. Okay, so one of the good media elements to use. So influencer media. Then Google pay per click. This works effectively again, right? Because there's enough people who visit Google very often, and it's all sorts of people and traffic who typically goes to Google. So ads.google.com. Uh, so for example, if you have courses, right, as an example mentioned over there, now you can choose to put an ad within Google, and again, pay per click and this and the other, right, the various formats out there, where you can advertise for the courses for the people whom you think are the right one. And once the search happens, depending on your keywords and the elements, it throws up over there, right? And then people can directly land up to your landing page where you want them to. And from there, you can take it to the next steps of sequence of events that you want to as a call to action. So Google plays this. This is again a good one. So is Bling, right? So Google is not the only search engine in the world. So Bling is also. If Google takes 80% to whatever that percentage is, Bling and the others also do enough job, right? So that's not Bing. That sorry, Bing. I'm calling it Bling, but Bing. So Microsoft's search engine is also one of those. So Bing Ads Microsoft.com plays an important role. You can similar to Google, you can do your advertising there, and that will help your purpose. Okay, to generate more traffic. Then you have display networks, right? Again, so there are many of these. Okay, please remember there are many. What has been put is the funnelized one, which will work, which I have seen working best, all right, and giving better returns for the in terms of ROI and your CTA. So hence it is being mentioned. But once you go, searching for this on a Google or one of those sites, you can go really wild with it. So coming back, so display networks are typically something that you can show your banners, right? And wherever potently you feel they should occur, buysellads.com, etc. will put it there for you, right? You want it in Forbes, you want it in somebody searching something, and below ads that come in particular portal, it'll come in there, and so on and so forth, right? And then people can do the needful. So this is the purpose for doing that. Is you would have experienced this, by the way, where you're searching for a PC or a laptop, right? And you've been thrown at you with an external hard drive or a USB drive or one of those things. Those are ads which are getting thrown up by people who want you to see that, or a phone, or whatever other gadgetry that comes along. So that is where this comes and becomes pointed towards the traffic which is searching similar things in different places. So buy sell ads does the same for you, okay, depending on what criteria you put in. So you have SEO traffic, right? One of the best ones is Uber Suggest. Neil Patel, you've heard of that name, right? He's a very famous social media Indian guy out of US who has been doing phenomenal, and he has a brand name in itself, right? So he believes in organic systems that are created for traffic growth, right? This gives you high quality leads. So there's a pricing to it, and this is a kind of lifetime and one-time pay and so on and so forth. And there are different price bands that they give you it. So this is again a good one, right? It gives you very filtered traffic that the way you want it. Okay, it works very well because the guy himself is a practitioner for this. So good area for SEO traffic. Okay, then okay, before I jump to CPA traffic, please also understand everything works on keywords and metadata out of this, right? So you should wear that hat, right? Every keyword that you want is useful, becomes a metadata for your searches and for people to target to. Okay, this will work everywhere, right? From your website to the point of traffic to the funnel. Okay, all right. So let's so CPA traffic, 10th one in the row. Now this is cost per action, right? This typically works, one of the best ones, by the way. All right. So if you see, there are um, various kind of platforms out there that help you do this. I have suggested Max Bounty because that worked very well for us. So the cost per action is that you can create, for example, your landing page out there, or the specifics that you want. And once you do that, right, it makes it very easy. For some of them are very, some of them are free also, right? So once you do that, that itself, the process of creation is so fast, it automatically puts you out there in a couple of minutes, right? And then looking at that, the call to action that you give works out at a very minimal cost for you to come about, right? Hence the max bounty and the others. Okay, just play around a little bit with it. You'll understand specifically what it's mean. But typically, it helps you create your elements of the hook very easily, and then targets you the right audience, which they already have a community for, which helps you then convert quickly with the traffic zones. Okay, so that's your CPA traffic. Now, social media. Okay, this would mean specific to, you want to use social media for messaging purposes. You can hold a poll. You can hold a, the example here given is of picking a winner, right? You might run a campaign where you want to get traffic out, and then at the end of the time kind of factor that you put into play, you might want to give an ebook, you might want to give a whatever, or one of your digital assets, or a certain portion of your digital assets, or a service for free, etc., as an element to attract that kind of audience, right? So commentpicker.com is one such platform which allows you to create a contest, right? Simply, you don't write a code, nothing. Just put your criteria in, it'll help you do that, creates everything in a minute, and it's done. Okay, so very helpful. I've conducted polls, I've conducted such winner picking elements, which has helped the purpose, right? But again, might not be used necessarily for digital, as it's been also used for external activities, right? So totally some of the commercial activities that I do, it might be used for those. So, but works very effectively. So you should try it. Okay. Then retargeting. All these work, right? The Google, the Google ads, the Facebook pixels, everything works. Ad tool has been pointed out here. Okay. Uh, adroll.com helps you retarget in sequence of events the way you want it. So if you are subscribed to it, right, which you would do with the others, this goes part of your code, and then you run a sequence. Right? You can do the same with, for example, Facebook. Right? You put you create your ad, you do the needful, then you track somebody using the pixels that you have defined as a tag, and it goes on doing the needful, right? And then once that is one sequence finished, starts second sequence of emails and the other factors that you want to throw as a landing page or whatever you want to target them to goes about doing the needful. So retargeting as a phenomenon, I'm assuming all of you all know what it is, but retargeting is nothing but somebody who has shown interest in your traffic activities or your lead gen activities, and then you realize that that person has shown interest but has not gone to the next step. So you retarget that person to pursue him to take the next step. That is what retargeting is. Hence the purpose. Okay, hence the name also. So the other ones are the other influencers, right? So these again social media. You can go wild onto Insta, FB, Snapchat, Twitter. So these are the common ones that everybody uses. You could do depending on assets. Since we work with both the world, we do a combination of two. But for corporate world, I rather focus on a LinkedIn, and for the executive, a lot of people we use LinkedIn and Twitters. For others, typically it's the Facebooks and maybe some of the I don't use Insta instantly, so FB has been used enough. We use some blog sites, and then podcasts have not been tried, so we will be doing that next. Got it? The podcast plays an important role, guys. Okay, with that said, there are syndicate methods, and there's alpha way of doing things. This is when you actually reach ultimatum of blitzscaling, right? And just for people who should understand what syndicate or alpha media, if you see a similar web or what runs where and adplexity and etc. to go, there is a barter system of sorts, right? You have some community, A will have some community, Alpha will have some community, a B will have some community, and XYZ might have some community, right? You can exchange your sphere of influence between the two by bartering your assets with them so that they promote to their community and you promote theirs in your community and vice versa, and then you share your respective benefits out of the two. In some cases, again, there are various models, and you can go really wild and creative to this. But one of the models is one sells the other's assets, right? The other might only want the traffic to come to his zone that as a call to action, but and use the way they want to use the traffic for, okay, and or otherwise can put in they so each typically sell each other's product. That's the easier barter way, but some might just use it for getting traffic, right? That something is showing interest there because they have a better aggregated view of what they want to give to them. Got it? So one of the assets is just a kind of a pawn of sorts to get them to the larger picture that they want to actually let the subjected traffic to know. Okay, so syndicates work in a little different fashion, but if you go to similar web and the others, you'll understand what this is all about. And syndicate best works with people whom you already know. Okay, so your sphere of influence. So this brings you the sources, right? I hope, yeah, this is a little extraneous, but you'll have to play with it to choose what best works for you. In larger organizations, they work with all this. All of this is working simultaneously, right? And they're really blitzscale at a very different level. But the cost and the resources that are put in is very different, okay? Which I don't know at a solopreneur or a small medium size will work the best, but this is how people use various sources for. All right. Okay. On that, If you go to the next one, we will talk about then the traffic generation system. I'll see you in the next one.